Let's get into some Monica tea. So apparently, Monica did a recent interview where Monica Denise did a recent interview where she opened up about her career, saying that she was never focused on stats and awards. Because here's the thing, I made my jokes and I've said like Monica is kind of like like a Chitlin circuit R&B singer. Like I made my little jokes with her because yeah, she kind of always flew under the radar. But no shade, I would rather have the career she has than the career of like a Beyonce and all these other people. Because the thing with Monica is she could go wherever the hell she want and fly under the radar. A Beyonce, a Taylor Swift, a Lady Gaga, all those people that's on that of that magnitude can't run the streets like someone who has like that steady career. I would rather have a steady career instead of just this. And I hate the fact that there's people out here who always try to measure other people's status or success or career as you got to be at that Beyonce level. That's all great to have 80,000 awards and all the accolades and people reading down your whole situation like it's a goddamn resume. And you say, oh, stop. They doing all of that. And this is like, okay, this is giving fake modesty. And that's cute if that's what you want. If you want to just aspire and have accolades and have this long list of accomplishments and achievements, that's great. But if that's all you got into the business for, to me, it's just like, that's not what matters. To me, what matters is if I get to live out the dream and I get to have all the rewards because I'm living out my dream and it's not necessarily for award recognition and all these other things. So I do have the clip of her talking about this, and we will come back and talk. Please hold.
But what I learned in those moments is that there's a plan for all of our lives, and it's orchestrated by somebody bigger than every person in this room. And what was meant to happen was for my life to change that day. And I was able to really enjoy my career because I didn't have any expectations. I was not looking at stats. I was not worried about awards. I'm actually a person that for all the records I've broken, I really have never won any awards. I'm really the most forgotten. If you think about it, I'm pretty much the underdog, but I sit very comfortably in it because I can still go where I want, do what I want, live how I want. But when I say that I am often forgotten, I was hosting the Soul Train Awards, was nominated for 5, 3 of my songs in one category and still lost. But I went out to eat and kicked my regular after. I was not bothered because that's not what I do it for.
That's dope.
That is really my point when I say that oftentimes I'm forgotten in those spaces. But what
Okay. So, with her saying that, that kind of makes me wonder: did she come to that revelation because she's older and wiser, or did she always have that mentality? Because I really feel like if you are a person of a when you younger and you aspire to, oh yeah, I'm going to be singing. I get all the great songs and I put out good quality music, and I get to go to the BET Awards and the VMAs, and I get to do all these things, and I get to have all this success, but I'm not winning awards and those other. So I wonder if she came to this revelation later in life, where it's like because when you in your 40s, I'm gonna tell you, when you're in your 40s, that's when the perspectives of things start to come in, where it's like you realize what matters and what doesn't. The mature 40 people, 40 plus people, you start to realize that, okay, what's the most important thing and what matters to you in your life and your career and all those other things. So I'm wondering if this is a later in life thought process that she had. But some of the people in the comments said she ain't wrong, and I'll die on that hill that Monica made better music than Brent. Don't play. Do not play with B Rocka, because what we not going to do is sit up here and say she made better songs than Brandy or better music. Monica does what she does. Brandy does what she does. Brandy was more of that crossover artist, and I love when Brandy worked with Dark Child and some songs with Timbaland, because I do love Aphrodisiac. But what we're not going to do is sit up here and play in Brandy face. Brandy even need to be brought up in this conversation because it ain't got nothing to do with her. Man, Brandy and Monica just did a tour together, tore it down. The tour was a success. It actually ended up as one of the on the list of best tours of 2025 from Variety. So they was living for the tour. So we ain't got to come in here and throw a dag at somebody else to make your fave feel better. Now, another person said Monica never sold her soul. They been knew not to play with Miss Thing. Authenticity over publicity any day. When everybody was lying, she was one of the ones telling the truth. May not have had the strongest career, but she lasted the longest. Love her real bad. Another person said Monica is exactly who she think. Wait, Monica is exactly who she thinks she is. Is it shade? I don't know. I can't tell sometimes. Cece Peterson, yes. I live for Cece Peterson. I know she was in the comments. Said Monica deserves more. I agree. So beautiful and amazing voice. Another person said Monica received her awards from her fans who have stood by her from day one. And that's what that is. That's what I would appreciate. I just appreciate that if I got a loyal set of fans who rock with me regardless of what happens, anytime I put out an album, y'all show up and show out. If I put out a tour, y'all show up and show out. It's kind of like with Chris Brown. I mean, I don't want to equate her with Chris Brown because of the things that he's done that have been problemsome in the past, but he's got a loyal fan base, just like she has a loyal group of people that stick by her. And the fact that she can go out in public and be herself and people leave her alone, I feel like that's just an amazing thing that she could actually do that. So I say all this to say, what do you guys think of this story? Do you agree with what she had to say? Because it's like she's saying she's a forgotten R&B singer. Maybe she may be forgotten in mainstream circles, but at the end of the day, she's still. I'm sorry, I got to adjust this microphone. Um, at the end of the day, she still has a successful career. She's got a steady career. She could still put out music. She could still go out and tour, and she could still go out and when she's done with the shows and performing and the career stuff, she could actually go out, kick her feet up, as she said, and live her best life, and people leave her alone. Who wouldn't want to have that life? Nobody wants to be isolated and surrounded by security and all these people and you're in a crowded room feeling all like lonely and you don't have anybody that you really can confide in and you're always paranoid or whatever the case is. So let me know what because all of this it's all the smoke and mirrors, that's all it is at the end of the day. But as long as if you don't have family, if you don't have real people that you can count on, what's the point? So let me know what you guys think of this story in the comments down below.